Today, we're going to go through the installation of the Turbonator VGT electronics.
This is the wiring harness as it will arrive to you. These two plugs are going to plug into the control unit. Over here we have the battery power and ground that go right on your battery cables. This is going to be your ignition wire that allows the unit to be shut on and off with ignition power. This is going to be the RPM wire here that goes to your crank or cam sensor. These two are going to be pulled into the cab. This is your exhaust brake switch, and this is your USB cable to plug into a laptop. This plug here will go directly to the actuator on your turbo. Over here we've got the boost sensor and the plug. The purple one is going to be boost. This goes into the front of your turbo, the compressor housing. This here is your exhaust sensor. It is either going to be gray or yellow. It detects the exhaust pressure. Over here we have the two styles of exhaust brake wiring. They're going to be pre-plugged into this. This unit will be with the 98.5 to 02 trucks and the 6.7 trucks. This here is going to be to trucks that are a 12 valve or to an 03 to 07 common rail. This is how they arrive. They are all pre-plugged in. Do not unplug these unless it's absolutely necessary. They have been tested at our shop and are functioning when they leave here. It is helpful to have a multimeter on hand. The very first thing that you're going to do is plug in the gray to gray, black to black on the control, and there's little guides in there that will allow it. You snap both those in, and I'll show you on the truck. This is on a 6.7 common rail, but you'll need to find a location to put the control unit, and it's nice to put the Velcro strips on it somewhere. In this truck, we put it right here. This is your battery cables that screw right onto your battery. They are power and ground. All right, here's your power cables. The red goes on the positive terminal. The black is going to go onto the negative or the ground, and I like putting it actually under that, so when you're tightening it down, the nut down, it doesn't twist that piece. Okay, on all trucks you're going to have to run these into the cab. On some trucks you'll run the white ignition wire into the cab, and on the 6.7 trucks you're going to run the yellow wire into the cab. To get the brake wire into the cab, simply just unplug it, and you're going to run those wires into the cab. On the ignition wire, some people choose to put this in the cab on an ignition wire. Other people put it in their fuse box and to tap a fuse. It just depends on the truck and depends on where your preference is. Okay, those wires we just talked about are going to be run through the cab. You can see them going into the cab right here through the firewall. The easiest place on a 6.7 to put the exhaust brake switch is right here. On a lot of the other trucks, you can mount them in this same area. On a 6.7 truck, we're simply going to pull this panel off, and we're going to fish those two wires right here. You're going to take the exhaust brake switch. On is the line in, off is the circle in. You're going to take a 13/16 drill bit and drill a hole in here, and then simply the switch will simply snap in position. I like to put the line at the top so we know when the exhaust brake is on and off. Then you're simply going to plug back in those two wires, and your exhaust brake will be connected as far as the switch goes. And then just replace this panel. It just snaps right back in, and the exhaust brake switch is in place. On 6.7 trucks only, you will have pulled the yellow wire into the cab. We're going to go here right above the accelerator pedal to the accelerator pedal position sensor, the app sensor. And we've got on this particular truck, on this year, it's a brown wire with the green stripe. Now yours might be different. You need to see your instructions to see which wire is the correct one. But what we're looking for is as the pedal is depressed, you're going to read the voltage out of that wire and make sure that that wire voltage goes from 0.4 volts up to 4.5 volts as you press it. The next thing you're going to fish through the dash is you've got the USB cable here. You're going to leave enough length that you can connect to your laptop, and then when you're not using it, which is most of the time, you're simply going to tuck it up under the dash, and you might want to get a zip tie and tuck it up under the dash somewhere. You choose where you're going to do that. The 3 wires that are going to run over the top of your engine are the boost and exhaust sensor and the actuator wire. You're going to run them over the top of your engine like we have here. We've already got those in place, and you're going to keep them away from things that could melt them, that produce a lot of heat. They do have heat shielding, but you want to keep them away from that. And then we'll, once you get those ran over here, you're going to plug those into the components they go to. Right, you're going to take your boost sensor and you're going to thread it directly into the front of this compressor housing here. On this one, we've got a T, but you're going to put yours directly in there. Then you're going to take the purple tipped connector and you're going to simply plug it in to the boost sensor. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on, the shield, and we're going to just snap that back in, and then your boost sensor is connected. Likewise, your sensor needs mounted with the bolt that you have here on an S300 turbo. It's going to mount on the back side of your compressor housing. Now, it doesn't need to be torqued too tight. You're going to simply thread it on there. Then we're going to bend this pliable stainless tube so that it fits in between and will carry exhaust pressure up to this fitting here. The stainless tube that comes with your kit is going to thread onto the fitting that is the back side of your turbine housing back here. And as you can see, you have to have it in a downhill slope the entire way so that as water condenses inside of this tube, it will drain back down into the turbine housing. All right, now I have a T in here. You're not going to have a T on yours. You're simply going to thread it in like this. Like you're going to simply thread it in like this onto your fitting. The next step is you're going to simply plug in the gray or yellow tipped plug into your exhaust sensor. And it's really important on this exhaust sensor, a couple of things. Number one, leave this little silicone shielding in place to keep the heat off of it. And you don't want to run this anywhere over the exhaust heat. The next step, you're going to take your actuator plug that looks like this. It's a little 4-wire plug. You're going to plug into your actuator just like this. Make sure it snaps. If you're pulling this out again for any reason, you have to absolutely make sure you do not pull on the wires. You don't want to pull the wires out. Pull on the plug only. You push this button and pull the plug only. If you have an 03 to 07 common rail or a 12 valve, you're going to have this wiring harness set up for your exhaust brake. You simply take the black wire and you're going to put it right to battery ground is where you're going to put that. Then the other 2 wires, if you are a 12 valve or if you just want your exhaust brake to work when you flip your switch, you're going to touch those together. So if I were to tape those wires together, every time I flip my switch, the exhaust brake comes on. All right, now if you're a common rail, an 03 to 07 with a 5.9, these 2 pins are going to go in, plug into your ECU. And there's a little weather plug that you pull out, a little rubber piece, and then you're going to push these 2 into those plugs. And it's down in on the driver's side, kind of on the side of the engine down there that you're going to fish out. Now, you have to look at the instructions to see the correct pins that these go into for your year of truck. On a 24 valve, you're going to have this set up for your exhaust brake. It's the same one as the 6.7 trucks do. You're simply going to plug this will be plugged into your wiring harness, and you're going to plug this in, I believe it's pin 20, into your ECU, which is also located on the driver's side of the engine down on the side of the block. Once you've installed the wiring harness and it's all hooked up at this point, you should be able to turn the key and drive the truck. It should run fine. We have set it up and programmed it for your truck specifically. However, if on the actuator you have adjusted something, like loosened anything, you're going to need to recalibrate it. Then you will have to plug your laptop in at that point. Or if something isn't functioning properly or the way you want it, you'll have to plug your laptop in. Now, if under the voltages tab on your software, if you're not seeing voltage come through, especially on a 6.7 truck, this is where you're going to test it. You're going to unplug that little yellow wire connector from the harness, and you're going to find the wire that comes in on that particular pin, and that's the one we're going to be testing. You're simply going to get your multimeter, put one side onto the ground of the battery, and you're going to take the other side and you're going to connect to the wire that's coming in on that plug. And on your multimeter, you should see about 0.4 volts. And as you press the pedal with the ignition on, the ignition has to go on. As you push the pedal all the way down, it should go up to about 4.5 volts. So it should range from 0.4-ish up to about 4.5 volts. If you're not seeing that, or if the voltage is less or different than that, or if it's not consistent, then there is a problem. And then when you're done testing it, you can just, and remember the multimeter, put it on like the 20 volt reading on the DC volts when you're reading that. But when you're done, just plug the wire back into the harness, and then you should be able to read that in the voltages, input voltages on the laptop if there's a problem. But there shouldn't be a problem if it's crimped in properly into the app sensor.